Hey, I guess this is my first tutorial on I guess using FL Studio. As you can see, I have not prepared anything, and I just woke up today. I literally just woke up. My hair is even messed up, but I just woke up today and I was like, hey, why not? I mean, I see other tutorials that kind of suck, so might as well join the circle. Um, all right. First thing I like to do is okay. I first like to say I'm a house and EDM producer, so. Um, what I have here is a sound bank of a lot of different songs that I've collected, EDM, and first thing I'd like you to notice is that all EDM songs have that 4/4 intro, that pa 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 pa. It's not just this song, any single song. Every single song has that. Basically, why they do that is because an EDM, it's a party music song. So like when DJs mix it into it, they have a 4/4 intro, that boom boom, and they have that 4/4 outro, so boom boom again. So when they mix songs, it's really easy because you just line up the kicks, and that's really easy to match up the beats and transition to another song easily because it's EDM is almost made for DJing. So what we have here is I actually collected my own sound samples. Some of them I made. For example, I made that really long. I just reverse it and it goes into it. We can talk about that later. But what I have here is basically a sound bank of kicks that I like. And what I'm gonna do is I just drag this kick out. And another thing is the BPM. Usually 128 is a really good BPM to work with because um, it's just what every single artist does. It's what every single song is really. There can be 130, but 128 is most of them. And you can also see why actually you can't see it, but you may notice that I drag the kicks out into the arrangement view, not into MIDI. This is MIDI, by the way. And the reason why I do that is you can actually hear the difference. See on the master channel how right here there is it fills up the volume all the way. Now that is because right here you can see this master volume. This is for audio tracks, and I think this is pitch. Well, I don't really know why, but when you drag it into MIDI, I can do the exact same thing as I did here. Actually, no. I have to get it into MIDI. It's the exact same thing, but it fills up only a little bit of the track, and that's really weird, and that's actually not how I work, and it's kind of weird because it's so easy, it's much easier and so much more logical to move it into MIDI first, but it doesn't work that way. And actually, I'm actually just watching Martin Garrix's tutorial, and you can see even here he uses audio clips instead of MIDI clips for these drum patterns as well. So I guess I'll just delete this pattern and just delete this too. And the next thing we want to do is you may notice that this kick right now has quite a bit of bass. First, I guess I'll just link it up to a channel, double click on it, or you can go into MIDI and go to audio clips because it's audio clip, not a MIDI clip, and just when this little green thing, if it's on right here, just go to a channel. You can press Control L, or you can right click it and then go to link to this track, which is Control L is the shortcut. And next thing, I'm just gonna EQ out all the low ends. Notice how the low ends, the low bass is what's hitting really hard in this kick. And that's not what I want right now because this is an intro. We can get the kick and the bass in later. The intro usually is not bassy because it's easier to mix into other tracks like it. And you don't want to start off too strong. You want to ease your way up. It's house, progressive house. You want the constant energy building. You can't release everything in the beginning because that's weird. It doesn't work like that. You have to build up to the drop. Sounds about right. Another thing you can do is actually you can double click on this, and right now you see this little out thing. Basically, right now, the beginning of it, if you know anything about waves, this is the high end, and then as the kick goes on, the waves are getting longer and longer, so that's more bass and bass. So you can either EQ it, or you can just do that, and then that's basically all the top end. Works pretty good. I usually I kind of do both actually, because if I do it without it, there's still some bass in it. But then if I do this, if I don't cut the out away, there's still some bass in it. So I do both to get rid of most of the bass. No, not reverse. Out. Now there's a lot less space, and you can hear the difference. You can. This isn't the most accurate, so you can't see it, but you can actually hear the difference. And that's basically the intro right there. And next thing you want to do is you want the low ends. I usually do mine every 4 bars, or actually 8 bars low kicks, and then 8 bars bass kicks. And then for that, all you have to do is drag this, make this a unique clip. I like to rename it and color it different because it keeps me more organized. Just name this kick low, and then I'll drag this to the second channel. And then the reason why I do that is now you have a completely separate different kick with the same sample, except now it's bassy. So the top ends still sound the same, but you just have bass in it, and I like that. And also, another pro tip is, even though it's the low kick, you still want to EQ a little bit out of the way. Because see how, I don't need to do the little audio out thing this time, but see how the kick basically lasts the whole entire beat? Well, if you don't have good speakers, you can't hear the bass, but if you have a big subwoofer, that's a constant boom bass all the way across, and you don't want that. You want them to actually hear you want there to be a little pause between the 4/4, so I EQ out a little bit so you can actually hear that. So that's basically it for the kicks. Oh, wait, one other thing. Usually this is how I start off, but in the end, usually what happens is I take off the last 2 kicks for every 8 bars. It gives a little bit of leeway transition time. And in that 8 bars, you can really do whatever you want. But usually by this time, I'm gonna start working on the other loops and the other stuff for this. So I'm not gonna focus on the kicks because the kicks I talked about a lot, and that's really all there is to it, and it's not too bad. Start off, low kick, EQ out, do a little bit of this audio out, and then make a new one, no audio out, assign to a new mixer, EQ out a low of the bass on the low one, EQ out all of the bass on the high one. And that's really it for a very extensive kick intro, I guess.